Daryl Recommends Podcasts is a podcast recommending series and shouldn't be mistaken as a reviewing one. Opinions about each show are my own and should not reflect what each podcast has to offer. Content warnings aside, I believe if any recommendation in my series interests you, you should give it a chance, regardless of how I personally feel about the show.
Hi there! Welcome to the inaugural episode of Strong Branching Out, the show where we at Strong Branch Productions invite on another podcast production team to play a game with us. Kicking off this series is Hanging Sloth Studios, creators of Clockwork Bird, Spirit Box Radio, and the upcoming show Challenger Deep. When I first started listening to Spirit Box Radio, I knew immediately this was a group that I wanted to get to know better. Lighthearted, fantastical chaos with a dark, dramatic edge, all led by the lovable and relatable protagonist Sam Enfield. If you haven't yet listened to the show, please do. You're missing out. But before you do, have a listen to the game of de-escalation that we had the wonderful opportunity to play with Hanging Sloth.
Strong Branch Productions invites the creators and minds behind other podcasts to play short tabletop games. Strong Branch Productions and guests play various small games featuring ones like De-Escalation, Vast and Starlit, and many more. Different guests that have been invited include cast and or crew members of shows, such as the ones from Hello from the Hollowoods, Neighborly, Spirit Box Radio, Rogue Maker, and more. Creators also promote their own podcasts to spread the love of audio dramas around. Games are all one-shots, so if long campaign tabletop RPGs are not your thing, this may be a show for you if you just like short one-off sessions. Say whenever a major tabletop RPG podcast with a very long campaign does a brief one-shot in between the larger story arc. This is essentially a lot of what this show is about. It features a lot of the main cast, crew and cast members from shows that Strong Branch Productions has, such as Grace Griego from The Stench of Adventure, as well as Alex Kingsley, EK, Elliot, and many more people. And this is just a nice tabletop RPG show for people that I think is great for people who may not be super into longer campaigns. Like, I'm in the middle of listening to a tabletop RPG show, and I think it's gonna break my record for longest it took me to ever finish a podcast because it is a long show. No, I am not mentioning which show it is. But this is a show I keep up with. Episodes are very sparse, so they come out every once in a while, and I believe episodes are also live streamed on Twitch. So you can watch their streams live, or you can just wait until the audio version is out, which is usually what I do because I don't have a lot of time to watch streams all the time, unless they're at night, and even then, that's dependent on if I have work in the morning, so. And what's great about it is because there's a change of guests, if you're somebody who gets tired from the same people playing games all the time, you don't have to worry about that because there's new people that are constantly cycled through, along with the members of Strong Branch Productions. And this one is just fun because it's like I get to see some of the people who made shows that I really like. Like, I really like Hello from the Hollowoods. I think the Hello from the Hollowoods episode one was probably my favorite. That one was a lot of fun. But then they also have, like, other silly ones, like when they did a game of De-Escalation with the cast of Spirit Box Radio. It's just really nice. And I get introduced to new shows. I added a bunch of different ones to my list of shows I have to listen to because of this podcast. So if you want a show that's kind of like tabletop RPG, but also kind of a podcast recommending podcast, then this is probably a show that you would really like. But there's not like super much to talk about, like there's like not like a set plot or anything because each of their games are like self-contained stories. So if you're somebody who can't sit for a long-form game, but maybe every once in a while you can sit through a short one, this is a show for you. I know tabletop RPG podcasts tend to be a bit jarring for people who don't want to listen to like a lot of podcasts. But if you're somebody who wants to get into tabletop RPGs, but you don't want something that's too long and you want something that's finished, this is a show for it because they're just all short, mini, separate, self-contained arcs. The only thing that kind of remains consistent is some of the people who play in it. But that's it. That's all it is. And you get to hear more about your favorite shows if they have invited the cast members of shows you may like. It's a lot of fun. I like this show a lot, and I always look forward to when new episodes come out. And episodes don't come out too often, so if you're somebody who can't keep up with shows, say like The Adventure Zone, which comes out weekly, then you may like this a bit better, and if that's something that keeps you from doing longer podcasts, that have longer episodes. And like I said, it's a fun way to find podcasts to listen to. There's, content warning wise, there's nothing like extremely triggering that I can think of with any of these episodes. It's varied by episode though, but nothing that's like extreme gore, extreme guts and violence, a lot of sexual innuendos, you know, the things that YouTube doesn't like. That is not in any of these shows as far as I remember. But that is it. As always, I am going to link down below the link to all the relevant places. This time it's going to be the Strong Branch Productions. The show is like one word to both titles. The Strong Branch Productions website, their Patreon, and yeah, that's generally it. And you can also follow my socials down below as well. I am always taking recommendations for podcasts. I am in the middle of listening to 2 different podcasts for different reasons. You will find out about that when I make videos about them. But until then, goodbye, and have a good one, and get to listening to more shows. Do it for me. Bye.